Hello friends, welcome to our channel Physics by IITians. So we are continuing our lecture with laser series. Today I will discuss about the coherence. What do you mean by coherence? Okay, this is a very important question in optics also, because interference, diffraction, everywhere you get usually used to this term, that is coherence. So coherence is basically the phase correlation. Okay, so if you have, certainly we are telling that this is a monochromatic light. Ideally monochromatic light means that monochromatic light have only a single wavelength or only a single frequency. Now, reality, does it exist? The light having only a single wavelength or having only a single frequency? This is not true, because whenever there is any transition, okay, atomic transition, it's the light which we will get, it has already some natural line width, and this is the basic coming from the basic idea from the quantum mechanics, that is delta E into delta T must be greater than equals to h cross by 2. So whenever there is a single transition, so if we represent that one single lambda or one single nu, it will be a purely sinusoidal one monochromatic wave. So it's just a monochromatic wave, and the length, it is from minus infinity to plus infinity extent. So it will be purely sinusoidal in nature. But in reality, if you consider a single transition, that is, you have an energy level E2 and you have an energy level E1. So this is a single transition from E2 to E1. It will also lead to give you a number of frequencies having the central frequency around nu naught, and there will be a line width or frequency line width is bandwidth is delta nu, because this energies in lines are itself uncertain. Okay, so there are delta E into delta T must be greater than equals to h cross by 2. So wherever in reality we tell you that monochromatic light, you have to understand that the monochromatic light is not exactly monochromatic, rather it is quasi-monochromatic. That is, the lambda has also some spread of delta lambda, or nu also has some spread of delta nu. Where if you tell that the lambda naught is the central frequency with having the bandwidth delta lambda, or nu naught is the central frequency by having bandwidth delta nu. Now, how does you represent it? How do you represent it? You represent the wave, that is quasi-monochromatic wave, in case of only a single transition. What will be the waveform of the transition light will be like this. This is the transition, this is the light, that is quasi-monochromatic, this is the plot, this is the diagram. It is not like the sinusoidal for the infinite lifetime. So now, whenever there are atomic transitions, so there are number of transitions, there are not a single lambda. So you will get also lambda, number of lambdas. Certainly it will be associated with number of delta lambdas. So how do you represent it? It will represent like this. Okay, and now you have to relate the, you have to understand that there are certain wave trends or wave pulses, the which is going to travel. Okay, the wave pulses, the form will take like this, and if you certainly find out the correlation between the wave trends or correlation between the wave pulses, it will lead to give you the idea of coherence. Now you see, if you find out this is a wave pattern of the wave trend, and this exactly repeats with the another the next half of the next pattern of the wave trend. So if you compare this, this is the phase, here the line is the phase break between, there is no phase correlation between this. So this is the coherence length, or the time the dilation is the coherence time. So what I am trying to say, that the coherence means the phase correlation between the waves or between the electric field line, between the electric fields of a light. Now, coherence can be of two types. This is spatial coherence and temporal coherence. Now, what is the idea between the spatial coherence and temporal coherence? First we can have some experiments that every electromagnetic field found in nature has some fluctuations associated with it. Experiments can provide information about correlation between the fluctuations at two or more space-time points. How does it so? How is it? Like suppose you have Maxwell's Michelson interferometer. Okay, so Michelson interferometer, you have a light source. Suppose I am taking laser light source, and you have a partially silvered mirror, and you have two mirrors, that is fully reflecting mirror. Okay, so one is suppose M1 and another is M2. Now the wave is traveling. It will be traveling to after half. It will can reflect half. It will can transmit half if the mirror is partially silvered or half silvered mirror. So 50% of the beam will be transmitted and 50% of the beam will be reflected. Now this mirror also reflect the wave and this mirror also reflect the light, and both will interfere, and we can place a microscope to see the fringes. Now why is it happening? I mean, why are you getting the fringes? You all know that interference, that if the waves are constructively interfere, we can get the bright fringe. If the waves are destructively interfere, we can get the dark fringe. Now suppose the wave is traveling, and at this point, suppose the wave, it has some phase. Okay, the light wave or electromagnetic field, that is also wave, it has some phase phi, suppose, and now from after reflecting back, it will come back also this position. So there will be a time dilation between the so it will come back, and then they will meet after certain point. So the both waves which were from the same source, they were going, and after meeting again they have some time dilation. So there may be some phase correlation between among them. If they have some phase correlation, then we can get only the interference pattern. If they don't have any phase correlation, we can't get any interference pattern. What do you mean by phase correlation? Suppose the one wave is fluctuating like this and the other wave is also fluctuating like this. So there is a constant phase difference, or if the phase difference is 0 or maybe constant, it is not time varying. So this is the constant phase difference between them. This is the meaning of the coherence. That is, both the electric fields are fluctuating in phase with each other. If there is correlation between them, that is called the coherence. Now this is the temporal coherence property, and whenever in case of Young's double slit experiment, suppose you have a source, that is extended source, and what you do, you put two slits over certain distance, and you record the fringe here. You get alternatively dark and bright fringes. So this also tell you some kind of coherence. Now which kind of coherence this will tell you? This will give you the spatial coherence. In space, you are seeing the phase relationship with respect to the space. In Michelson interferometer, you are observing the phase correlation with respect to time, and this case you are dividing the wavefront of the light or electromagnetic wave. So you are dividing the wavefront. So there are different positions in space. So the different positions of phase, how they can be correlated in phase, that will give you the spatial coherence. So the correlation in phase at delayed time, or coherence in phase at different space. So this will lead to the two different coherence, and one is the temporal coherence, another is the spatial coherence. Now how do you understand that? How to measure the temporal coherence? Temporal coherence is related to the bandwidth, frequency bandwidth. That is, I have told you that a frequency bandwidth, like one, it will have some frequency, central frequency, and it will have some bandwidth, that is delta n. So coherence time is inversely proportional to the bandwidth. So if you really can achieve a single line, that is a monochromatic line, or monochromatic wavelength or monochromatic frequency, it will have infinite coherence length. Okay, so it will oscillate sinusoidally What do you understand? That you can predict the phase after certain time, because it has some sinusoidal variation, it has no rapid fluctuation, so you can easily predict its phase at any space or at any time for a monochromatic light or purely single frequency. So if you express this as a coherence time, you express it as a length. So you can tell it that c into delta t will be the coherence length, where c is the velocity of light. Now if we want to express it in terms of lambda, not nu, so it will be lambda square divided by delta lambda. Now suppose that you have a gas discharge tube. What will be the coherence time? The frequency bandwidth is 10 to the power 8 second inverse, and the time coherence time is 10 to the power minus 8 second. If you calculate, if you find out that the coherence length will be 3 into 10 to the power 10 centimeter per second, that is velocity of light, into 10 to the power minus 8 second, that is delta t, will be 3 meter. So it has a 3 meter coherence length. Up to 3 meter, it has a certain definite phase relationship between the two waves. You have to think about physically. What does it mean? That the distance that is up to 3 meter from a gas discharge up to 3 meter, you have the phase relationship between the waves of the gas discharge tube. Now in case of laser, we can achieve very delta nu very less. That is, in case of gas discharge it was 10 to the power 8, and in case of laser we can achieve 10 to the power 4 second inverse. So delta nu is lower. Then the coherence length will be much greater. So coherence length we can achieve from laser, that is 30 kilometer. So look at this. This is the real life difference, that from laser we can achieve really a good source that is having a good coherence length of 30 kilometer. Now the spatial, how do you measure the spatial coherence? Spatial coherence, you measure that if the source, the divergence is of this from the source to the point, that is you are placing a slit, is delta theta, making an angle delta theta, and the source has an area of delta s, and there is a distance of r between delta s and this point, the central point. So you can have spatial coherence that delta theta into delta s certainly less than equals to lambda. Or in terms of delta theta r, you can also write that delta a equals to the coherence area is the r into delta theta whole square. So r into delta theta whole square. So this is the coherence area. So if you place any slit, any holes, pinholes within the coherence area, you can get interference pattern. Now suppose you have the r is 2 meter and lambda is 5000 Armstrong. What will be the coherence area? Coherence area will be 1 millimeter square. So you have to understand that they are in phase. So this is the phase relationship between them within this coherence area. The two waves are within certain constant phase difference or within phase. Okay. Now what will be the coherence area of sun to the surface of the earth? The linear dimension of the coherence area on the surface of the earth is 0.061 millimeter. So if you certainly have you want to get interference fringes out of sunlight, you need to calculate the coherence area first. So what Young has what Young did at that moment, he certainly find out the coherence area for the sun, and then he put the slits within the coherence area. That's why he get interference fringes. So I will come to more details when I teach you the interference about. So in mathematically, how can you understand that? Why the coherence? How can we express it mathematically? Suppose you have fluctuations in electromagnetic field E1 and E2, and we all know that here in case of a purely monochromatic light, E1 can be expressed as E0 to the power iota omega t, and also E2 can be expressed as, suppose this is E1 naught and it is E2 naught, a to the power iota omega t. Okay, or suppose the magnitudes also can be same, so both have the same frequency. But in real life case, if E1 has the angular frequency omega, then E2 has certain different angular frequency which is omega prime. So E1 and E2, due to this different omega angular fluctuation in the omega, where angular frequency, then whenever you calculate the time average of E1 and E2 field, that is you want to calculate the intensity, you will get a factor of 2 into I1 I2 into C1 root I1 I2 into C12 into cos of phi 1 minus phi 2, like this term. I mean there will be certain phase difference term and you will get certain phase coefficient, that is C12, that is coefficient for the coherence. Now C12 may be 1, C12 may be less than 1, C12 may be equals to 0. C12 is 1 means purely coherent light, C12 is less than 1, if C12 is half, that is quasi-coherent light, or C12 is 0, that is no coherence or no correlation between them. So visibility or fringe visibility or contrast of the fringes also depend on the coherence. So you have to understand that the coherence is the correlation between the phases of the electromagnetic waves or the electric field, the phases of the electric fields, fluctuating electromagnetic field, you have to understand. So the fluctuation with respect to time, fluctuation of the electromagnetic field with respect to time, or fluctuation with respect to space, if they are correlated with each other, they are temporally coherent, they are spatially coherent. If they are not correlated with each other, if they are not in phase with each other, they are not coherent. So I think you can understand some idea about coherence. If you have any doubt, please make your valuable comment to the comment section. Also we have a Telegram channel. Please join to the Telegram channel and post your questions. Thank you.